Hello dear students. As you all know, we have started chapter number 4, magnetic effects of current, and the last video lecture we have done Biot-Savart law. We have done one application also, and that application is to find the magnetic field nearby an infinite wire carrying current I. What was that? Let us see in a quick revision. If a current I is flowing through a wire of infinite length and at a point P, which is at a perpendicular distance A from the wire, the magnetic field was given by B is equal to mu naught I upon 4 pi A in bracket sin phi 1 plus sin phi 2. What are phi 1 and phi 2? Phi 1 is this angle and phi 2, this is a phi 1, and phi 2 was this angle. So this is because of a finite wire. I have written first of all for the finite wire. In case of infinity or infinite wire, this phi 1 and phi 2 both will become pi by 2, and in that case sin phi 1 plus sin phi 2, it will become 1 plus 1 because sin pi by 2 is 1, sin 90 degree is 1. 1 plus 1 it will become 2. 2 will cancel this 4, and we are going to have B is equal to mu naught I upon 2 pi. Okay? B is equal to mu naught I upon 2 pi. So that we have studied in the last lecture. From here, what we can see that B is proportional to I, the magnetic field around the wire. Current carrying wire is directly proportional to the current flowing through the wire, as well as we have seen B is inversely proportional to 1 by A, that is a perpendicular distance from the wire. As we go away from the wire, the magnetic field decreases, right? So this is B is proportional to 1 by A, or B is inversely proportional to A. One more thing is that B is also proportional to mu naught. Okay, what is that mu naught? Mu naught is permeability of free space. What I mean to say, if the medium around the wire is changed, it is not vacuum, then permeability of that medium will be kept over here. For that case, we will define relative permeability, okay, but we will define it later on. Okay, right now for all the numericals, the medium around the wire will be vacuum. If it is not, then in the numerical the permeability of that medium will be given, and you have to put the permeability of that medium. Clear? Okay, let us move. Today we are going to do another application of Biot-Savart law, and what that application is. Today we will try to find out magnetic field due to a circular ring which is carrying a current. So basically this is the second application of Biot-Savart law, and it is magnetic field due to current carrying circular loop. Magnetic field due to a current carrying circular loop. There are two sub cases. First case is at the center. Okay, at the center. Suppose one current carrying loop is like this, okay, and it carries a current I in this way. Its radius is say smaller, and at the center of it we want to know what is magnetic field. How we'll apply Biot-Savart law for this. Okay, let us take a small length element over here. This small length element will have the direction like this. Let this length be dl. From the dl, this point is at a distance r itself, because this dl is on the circumference only, and circumference is at a distance r from the center. What we want to know? We want to know the magnetic field at O. Okay. Now the magnetic field at O, the magnetic field at O is given by, the magnetic field at O is given by dB is equal to, and due to what? Due to dl only. Okay, due to dl means that due to that small length, dB is equal to mu naught upon 4 pi I dl sine upon r square. I have not written the angle because I want to discuss that angle. The direction of dl is along circumference. Okay, along circumference, and it is a very small one. So direction of dl will be along the tangent at this very point, and this is the radius. What is the angle between tangent and the radius? It is 90 degree. We have to put 90 degree over here. Value of sine 90 is 1. So what we are going to have? We are going to have dB is equal to mu naught upon 4 pi I dl upon r square. Value of sine 90 is 1. Now we have to integrate it. But before integrating, let us discuss the direction. Now, the direction of dl is in this direction. So basically I have to put my thumb in the direction of current and rest of the fingers towards the point at which I want to know the magnetic field. So it will go like this. Okay, direction of current is this way, along the thumb, and all the fingers towards the center. What is the direction of my palm face? It is outward. So due to this dl, the magnetic field here, it is outward. Suppose dl would have been here, then what will happen? Direction of current is upward, and all the fingers are towards the center at which you want to know the magnetic field. Palm face is perpendicular outward. So if dl would have been here, then also the magnetic field is perpendicular outward only. If dl is somewhere here, then what will happen? This thumb will go downward because here the dl will be downward, and all the fingers towards the center. Where is the direction? Outward. Right? For any position of dl, magnetic field is outward only. Okay, we can integrate this equation. If the direction would have been different, then we would have to think about that. But direction is not different, then we can integrate it. Net magnetic field at the center. Net magnetic field at the center. D is equal to integration of dB, integration of mu naught upon 4 pi I dl upon r square. dl will be integrated. dl is the length element on the circumference only, and if it is integrated, then it will give the value of circumference. So what we are going to have? B is equal to mu naught upon 4 pi I upon r square. And what is the circumference of the circle? Obviously it is 2 pi r. 2 pi r. Okay, 1 r will be cancelled, 2 pi will cancel this for 2 times, 1 r will cancel. So what we are going to have? We are going to have B is equal to mu naught I upon 2r. Mu naught I upon 2r. If this circular ring, circular loop consists of n turns, if n turns are there, then B will be equal to mu naught Ni upon 2r. For one turn, this is the magnetic field. For n turns, it will be simply multiplied by n. So what we are going to have? The magnetic field is mu naught Ni upon 2r. So from here, what can be concluded? That B is proportional to n, B is proportional to I, and B is inversely proportional to radius. Simple. Okay. So this is what magnetic field due to a current carrying circular loop is, and this is the first case when we are calculating at the center. Now let us move ahead. Let us calculate the second one, and the second one is magnetic field at the axial point. Okay, magnetic field at the axial point. Let me remove it. magnetic field at the axial point. Case number 2, at axial point. This is very important. Okay. Now, suppose a circular ring is there. Okay. And at a distance x from the center, let's its radius be small a, you can put, or small r you can put, no matter. Okay. Let me make it dotted so that you can understand. Let me make it more correct way. Like this. Okay. So this is the circular ring and this is dotted, because when we keep that circular ring, so circular ring is like this. Okay. Circular ring is like this. So the part of the ring which is in front of us, it is made darker, right? And the part of ring which is behind the front, okay, the back part, it is in dotted. Okay, so that you can assume, right? The direction of current in this is like this. Okay, the current is flowing in this manner. Are you getting? Means from the highest point, the current is coming out, and the bottom point, current is going in. So current is flowing like this. Is it clear? Current is flowing like this. Okay. At a distance, let this center be O. At a distance x from the O, we have a point, perpendicular distance actually. We have a point. Let that point be P. So at P, we want to know what is the magnetic field. The diagram is very important. Now, let us take a length element over here. Let this length element be dl, and let this distance be smaller. Okay, so what is the direction of dl? See, the direction of dl is always along the current. Current is flowing in this manner. So at the highest point, at the topmost point, current is actually in this direction. Are you able to understand? From the board it is coming out. The direction of dl is like this, and the direction of r is like this. So direction of dl is like this, as I kept my marker, and direction of r is like this. So basically, what is the angle made between them? 90 degree. What is the angle made between them? 90 degree. Direction of dl makes an angle 90 degree with the r. Okay. So magnetic field due to dl, magnetic field due to dl at P, dB is equal to mu naught upon 4 pi I dl sine. As I have told you, the angle made between dl and r is 90 degree. So 90 value is 1. So dB is equal to what? Mu naught upon 4 pi I dl upon r. So this is the magnetic field at P. What is the direction of the magnetic field at P? What is the direction of magnetic field at P? Just see, dl is outward, and direction of r is somewhere this. Okay, the dl is outward, so thumb has to be in direction of dl, and direction of r is like this, a bit downward. So what is the direction of magnetic field? Where is the palm face? Palm face is in this direction. Palm face is in this direction. The direction of magnetic field will be in this direction. This will be your dB. Okay, this will be your dB. Once again, dl is outward, r is in this direction. So what is the direction of palm face? This direction. So this will be the direction of dB. If we consider this angle as theta or phi, then this angle will be 90 minus phi, and this angle will be phi, right? For dB, we have a component this side. This will be dB cos phi, and we have a component this side which will be dB sin phi. Okay, dB cos phi upward. Let me write this magnetic field expression a bit there that side so that confusion should not be there. Magnetic field due to B, what we have discussed, dB is equal to mu naught upon 4 pi ideal sin 90 degree, which is 1 upon R square. So basically dB is equal to mu naught upon 4 pi ideal upon R square, right? So this is the value of dB, which is further can be resolved into two components, dB cos phi, dB sin phi. Now suppose if dB would have been here, dl would have been here, direction of magnetic field because of this dl would have been in this direction. Okay, and obviously this angle is also going to be phi. So because of this angle is going to be phi. So here we are going to have dB cos phi, and here we are going to have same dB sin phi, right? So this dB cos phi and dB cos phi will be cancelled out. What we are going to have? dB sin phi only. For any 2 points which are diametrically opposite, which are opposite end of a diameter, dl at the top, dl at the bottom, dl of this side, dl of that side. For those 2 points, dB cos phi will be cancelled out. For those 2 points, dB cos phi will be cancelled out. What we will have? Only dB sin phi. So for the whole circumference, what will happen? dB cos phi will be cancelled out. dB cos phi will be cancelled out. And what we are going to have? Only dB sin phi. So it's better to integrate dB sin phi only, because dB cos phi is 0 over the complete ring. So what we say? We say that dB cos phi is 0 over the complete loop, and therefore the magnetic field is given by B is equal to integration of dB sin phi. The value of dB is this way. This is mu naught upon 4 pi I upon R square into dl into sin phi. Now the thing is, mu naught upon 4 pi I and R. R is fixed for the complete ring. It will form a cone actually. Suppose a ring is there, and from the ring all the points are towards a particular point. It will make a cone, and each point of the circumference is at equal distance from the vertex. So basically that R is fixed for each point of the ring. Okay, what is the sin phi? Sin phi will also be same because it will be a semi-vertical angle. It will be a semi-vertical angle. So basically all the things are constant, only dl will be integrated. So what we are going to have? Mu naught upon 4 pi I upon R square into sin phi. What is the value of sin phi here? Perpendicular upon hypotenuse. So it will be A upon R into, when dl will be integrated, what we are going to have? We are going to have 2 pi A, the circumference. Now just see, it will become, where to write? Here. B is equal to mu naught upon 4 pi. 2 pi this cut 4 pi by 2 times. So mu naught upon 4 pi will not have, right? So what we are going to have? So we are going to have B is equal to mu naught I, A and A will become A square, mu naught I A square upon 2R cube. 2R cube. And if we put the value of R cube over here, what is R? R is basically this hypotenuse of this triangle. So what we are going to have? Then we are going to have B is equal to mu naught I A square upon 2 in bracket A square plus X square to the power 3 by 2. This is the formula for magnetic field at the axial point due to a current carrying loop. Simply, here that B is proportional to I, B is proportional to A square, and B is inversely proportional to X. Okay, not exactly inversely proportional, but we can see that when the value of X increases, then value of B decreases, right? So this is what the magnetic field due to a current carrying loop at its axial point. Let us discuss some important cases also. So there are some cases what we need to understand. Okay, let us discuss those cases. What is the formula we have got? We have got that B is equal to mu naught I into A square upon 2 A square plus X square to the power 3 by 2. Okay. Now suppose if X is very greater than A, if X is very greater than A, the radius of the loop is taken to be very small, then what we are going to have? We are going to have mu naught I A square upon this A square will be neglected. So we are going to have 2x x cube. So mu naught I A square upon 2x cube. This will be the magnetic field when X is very greater than A. And one more case is there, that if X is equal to 0. If X is equal to 0, then what will happen? Then B will be equal to mu naught I A square upon 2 X is 0, A square to the power 3 by 2, it will become A cube. 1A will be cancelled, only 1A will be left. Mu naught I upon 2A, which is the magnetic field at the center that we have studied few minutes before. So this is how the magnetic field at the center can also be obtained by using this. But if in the exam magnetic field at the center is being asked, then it's better to solve the first case what we have studied. Is it clear? Don't go by this method. This will take you a lot of time, and basically that question will not deserve, it does not deserve that much time. Okay, but at axial point it has been asked, you have to go by like this. Okay, so this is what the magnetic field due to a current carrying circular loop is. Sometimes what happens, we have not been provided the complete loop. We have been provided in some loop, not the complete loop. Okay, so because of the arc, how we can calculate the magnetic field? Let us see. Because of a circular arc, how the magnetic field at the center is being calculated, let us see. We'll solve some numericals also. Okay. Suppose magnetic field at the center due to an arc, obviously circular arc. Suppose a circular arc is given, the radius of arc is small r and the current is going like this. Okay, what is the magnetic field at the point if this angle is theta? Okay, what is the magnetic field at the point O if this angle is theta? The radius of the circular loop is r, the current flowing through is I. Okay, how we can calculate? Suppose if it would have been a complete circle, then the magnetic field would be equal to mu naught I upon 2A. So this mu naught I upon 2A, it is the magnetic field due to the complete loop. And complete loop subtends an angle of 360 degree or 2 pi radian at the center. So this magnetic field is there because of the angle 2 pi. 2 pi makes the magnetic field mu naught I upon 2A. What is the magnetic field due to unit radian? It will be mu naught I upon 2A into 2 pi. it will be divided by 2 pi. Then for theta angle, theta phi radian, it will be mu naught I upon 2a into theta upon 2 pi. So this is the magnetic field due to circular arc. The magnetic field due to a circular arc is given by mu naught I upon 2a into theta upon 2 pi. When theta is in radian, when theta is in radian, but if theta is in degree, then mu naught I upon 2a theta upon 360 when theta is in degree, right? So this formula is used because to find the magnetic field due to a circular arc. And what is the direction of magnetic field? Either you can go by like this, the direction of current in this manner is and the fingers towards the center is like this, the palm face is vertically outward, perpendicular outward, the magnetic field will be in this direction. Or you can go like this, just curl your finger around the current, extended thumb will give the direction of magnetic field. Curl your finger around the arc, the extended thumb will give the direction of magnetic field. So basically at this point the magnetic field is outward. Okay, now let us use this and solve some of the questions so that we can understand it. Suppose one question is there and it is in the NCERT also. Here it is at the center, let this current be I, let this radius be A. Current goes like this. Now what we have been asked, what is the magnetic field at the center O due to this wire. Okay. Now if you can see this linear length of wire, its length is along the line which joins the center, and same goes with this line. Okay, same goes with this line also. This line is along the same. Means if we extend this line, it will go along the center. So basically magnetic field due to this, if I say it is A, B, C and D, magnetic field due to AB will be 0. Why I am so convinced? The reason behind that, what we have studied magnetic field due to a straight wire is dB is equal to mu naught I upon 4 pi ideal sin theta upon r square, basically for any kind of length. This is for when the point is somewhere here. Okay, when the point is somewhere here. What is that theta? Theta is, suppose we have taken a dl here, so this angle is theta, right? But suppose this point come at this point which is in the line of the wire only, then what will happen? This r will go like this, this r will come like this, and theta will become 0. When dl and r are in the same direction, then what will happen? This is r, no? This is r, this is dl. When dl and r are in the same direction, because of this point, r comes over here, so dl and r in the same direction, theta will become 0, and because of theta becomes 0, the sin theta becomes 0, because of that dB becomes 0, because of that integration of dB is also 0. Due to the straight wire, since it is extended, when we extend it goes along the center, goes through the center only, magnetic field due to AB will be 0, magnetic field due to CD will be 0. Only this circular loop will give the magnetic field. Okay, and it is half loop basically. So what will be the magnetic field? Magnetic field will be mu naught I upon 2a into this subtends an angle pi upon 2 pi. Pi and pi will be cancelled out, 4 will be multiplied over here, mu naught I upon 4a, that's it. What will be the direction of magnetic field? Just curl your finger along the wire, the thumb extended is perpendicular inward. So basically magnetic field is inward. Okay, magnetic field is inward. Is it clear? This is how this question is being solved. Let us do one more. Then after tomorrow we'll move to another topic. Suppose a circular section is given like this. This is the point. Suppose current goes like this. Okay. This is A, and from here till here it is B. What is A? So from here till here it is A. Let this be B. From here till here it is B. Right? What we have been asked? We have been asked that what is the magnetic field at O? Let this angle be 60 degree. Okay, what is the magnetic field at the point O? So just we have discussed that the wire which is straight over here, suppose I name them O, A, not A, let it be P, Q, R, S, P, Q, R, S, whatever. The magnetic field due to OP will be 0 because this wire passes through that point only. Magnetic field due to QR will be 0. Magnetic field due to S and extended wire will be 0 because they are in the line with the point only. Okay, so what we will get? We will get magnetic field due to this wire and magnetic field due to this wire. So magnetic field due to PQ, B1 will be equal to mu naught I upon 2A into 60 upon 360. 0 and 0 will be cancelled out, it will be 6. So B1 will be equal to what? Mu naught I upon 12A. This is because of PQ. Let me write PQ so that we can understand. So magnetic field due to PQ loop, PQ arc is this. And what will be its direction? Curl a finger along the BQ. The extended thumb is perpendicular inward. So magnetic field is in inward. What is the magnetic field due to? RS mu naught I upon. Now what is the radius? Radius is 2A plus B. 60 upon 360. Cut will 6 times. 6 into 12. So BRS will be mu naught I upon 12A plus B. And what will be the direction? Now the current is flowing in this direction. Just curl a finger. Extended thumb is outward. So basically this magnetic field is outward. Obviously this magnetic field will be higher, smaller in a. Okay, so what we'll do? We'll subtract for the net magnetic field. B net will be B1 minus B2. B1 minus B2. And we are going to have mu naught I upon 12 we can take common. In the bracket we are going to have 1 upon A minus 1 upon A plus B. Okay, if we take LCM, then mu naught I upon 12 A plus B minus A upon A in bracket A plus B. A and A will be cancelled out. We'll get mu naught I upon to B upon 12 A in bracket A plus B. This is the net magnetic field. And what is the direction of magnetic field? Obviously, B1 is greater, so magnetic field will be perpendicular inward. Right? So this is how the magnetic field is being calculated. Okay? So let us stop over here. We'll do the next things tomorrow. Tomorrow I will start Ohm's this one Ampere circuital law. Okay? So make sure you watch all the lectures and practice the questions as well. This is all for the day. Thank you.